I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good hey y'all. It's the All Dressed Up Podcast with your boy K Dizzle DC and Young Hef Streams. What up, Young Hef?
What's up, man? I know we late, man. I apologize. I know we're
Apologies.
late. The texts are going
Interrupted
off.
conversations. Texas
The
going
texts are
crazy.
coming through. Like, where you at? It's 5 o'clock. You been hollering 5 o'clock all day. Well, we're here.
Ah! Things happen. Life happens. Things change. We try not to be on CFP time, but some things happen and some things do. But look, it is All Star. That's why you catching this early. It's All Star Weekend. The NBA is live and direct. But before we go into that, man, you know what we do. If you're not familiar, this is where we are every Sunday, usually at what would we say 7? No,
Nah, man.
9. Good
You
God.
way off, man.
No,
Usually
you know
we're
why?
on. Usually we're on at 9 o'clock, guys.
I'm thinking about the game tonight. I'm thinking about the game because we
Yeah.
kept going back and forth on what time we're going to start. We hear Sundays at 9, every Sunday at 9. All Dressed Up Podcast, Young Have Streams. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IG, um, the B side on your mom's cable box, okay? Right next to channel 21 or channel 19, depending on where you lived at. Next to the box, music, television, you control. But we here every Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again with your boy
And
Young.
you know what? We might got to talk about that because we do have some older folks that watch us too, K Dizzle. And I think they tend to fall asleep around 9:45.
Oh,
So, not to put anybody out there, but I've been talking to some people behind the scenes. So who knows? We might start at 8:30, but
hold on.
we'll talk we'll talk about that later.
All 8 of our viewers, out of the 8 viewers, 6 of them are in the other part of the greatest generation, and they go to bed
Yeah,
at 9:10. So
exactly.
we gotta do it accordingly. You're terrible. But look, man, um, we said we were gonna start out today with a couple things, man. Um, why did I just get a brain fart? You know why? Because everybody and their mama, like your phone is buzzing, saying, "Hey, where you at? What you going? What you doing?" We can't be late for CP time on nobody.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we CP can't be late on nobody.
Well, let's talk about just some of the things that are going on right now. Like right now, it's Women's History Month. Shout out to all of our beautiful women out there that we love and dear. I know you have a lot of them, Kermit,
Oh,
around you.
4 sisters, 4 women, one beautiful wife. It's the life that I live. Not only, the 5 aunts that I have and 2 uncles. Yeah, 2 or 3 uncles.
Mm.
But yeah, I live my life around women. Shout out to Women's History Month. Rest in heaven, Lee Peace, Cicely Tyson. Um, there's plenty of women we can go into that have made it more than their fair share contributions to society as well as history. Behind every great black man is a phenomenal black woman. We know that 110%. Mama Heaven's in the building. Let me go ahead and push this over so we know everybody who's in the building. Um, but yes, it is Women's History Month. Make sure that we do talk about, encourage, and teach our youth about women in the history roles that they have played, the major roles that they played.
No doubt. And Monday is actually International Women's Day. So shout out again to the women. So great start to March. Hopefully we can start, getting some warmer weather. It's All Star Weekend. We're gonna talk about that this evening, guys. Hopefully you can join in, have some fun with us. But a lot of things to talk about. Let's go.
Let's talk first and foremost. Okay. The biggest thing that has happened since sliced bread. Not only that, it is the biggest thing that everybody's talking about since Thursday night. It was Thursday night, like 10 o'clock when they dropped it
What
on.
can that be?
I don't know, man. Look, Amazon Prime made the deal of the century with Eddie Murphy and dropped Coming to America. Let's
Mm.
talk about it because there are so many different reviews, mixed, good, bad, happy, or sad. Young Half, tell me what you think, please.
Man, I'm gonna tell you now what's good right now, Cooper. I'm gonna tell you now. When I went, all right, here's the thing. First off, if you saw the first Coming to America, obviously it's a classic, cult classic. You know, whatever you want to call it. Everybody loved the movie.
Right,
It's timeless, right?
right,
So anytime you get a movie that's that good, me personally, I won't set my expectations that high to expect it to be as good as the first one.
right.
So it goes out to like if you set your expectations to be like, oh man, it's got to be as good as the first one, and then you talking about 30 years later, you setting yourself up for failure. So that's on you.
hundred
You know what
percent.
I'm saying? But anyway, to answer your question, I love the movie. I thought the
I
shit was great.
I loved it too. I
I
loved it
thought it
too.
was great. I watched it sober, didn't drink anything, nothing, fresh. Just came home from the gym. I was having a wonderful day with my lady and everything. We went out and worked out and stuff. So, shout out to her.
Shout out to D
But
Watt saying he fell asleep on it. Look, we
boo,
old, so you got. I've heard a couple of people say they fell asleep on it. That's because we, as the as where we are in life, we try to watch it at the end of the day.
can't do
And
that.
when we're tired, you can't do that. You can't do it at all. But I got you. I understand that. But go ahead. Hef.
But yeah, man. But so I turned it on. I was like, let me watch it with an open minded view. I already got the people asking me all week, like, to give me a give my review on the movie, and they started saying it was trash. So I'm like, how in the hell can you say it's trash? So I turned it on, and the cinematography is looking good. The graphics are looking nice. It's supposed to be in Africa, but they're probably
Right.
filming it in like Miami-Dade County. But it's it's still looking pretty authentic. Like that Rick Ross's house and everything. The movie was
Tyler Perry
actually starting
Studios.
off strong. Yeah, shout out to Tyler Perry Studios. But yeah, it started
I
off
know it
strong.
ain't fair. I'm just saying that's a good place.
I thought it was solid. I got some laughs out of it when I saw Michael Blackson. I think anytime Michael Blackson shows up, I'm gonna start laughing.
Oh, for sure.
That's one thing for me. And then Wesley Snipes got a check. See, that's the beautiful thing
Oh man.
about this movie, right? The
Yeah.
beautiful thing about this movie, it gave so many people opportunities,
Well,
right?
I'm gonna say this. Look, Wesley Snipes, regardless of opportunity, Wesley Snipes did a phenomenal job in that movie.
He
I
did.
liked the movie. I think the biggest issue with us, y'all know who I'm talking about, is that we went in with these such high expectations for
That
what we got so
preconceived
far.
notion it's
That
got to be as good as
preconceived
the
notion.
first one.
Exactly. Those high expectations of it to blow the first one out of the park when it was never the case. It wasn't going to be that. Some smart people said that the only way you could really enjoy it was to go in with a fresh, um, unfiltered, unsaturated thought processing just to enjoy it. If you went in and critique it from the first one, you weren't going to like it.
But
Like
if you
Spoiler.
have, but if you have any type of sense of how to watch a movie, right?
Hmm.
Like you could see the clever way that the movie was like kind of making fun
Yeah,
of itself for even
yeah,
being in existence because it had a couple of parts to where it was like sequels are never as good as the first,
right.
and I thought that was kind of clever. They showed different ways of how New York changed from before
Yep.
when he was back 30 years ago. So I thought
Spoiler Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it,
oh, it's
I'm
all a
sorry.
spoiler alert. You might
Look,
as well just say that
the
now.
way that they tied in the fact that he had a son, a bastard son, the way they tied it in and they hit it into the story, I thought was great.
I loved it, man. It was good. It was good. It was good writing. It was funny. I thought in certain parts you had different appearances that made me just chuckle just for seeing them. Like when I saw Rotimi out there, I started laughing.
When I saw
I thought
Rotimi,
that
I
shit was
thought
funny for some
Butterscotch was
reason.
coming. You know what I'm saying? This little IG dude from Butterscotch, if you haven't seen him, the Butterscotch, when he does that little character that he does, I thought it was coming. I thought that was a missed opportunity. But
I thought that was funny. And
yeah,
then my man, and then shout out to
yeah.
John Amos. He's like 130 years old.
Shout out to John Amos. He's
Damn.
like a living fossil. I was like,
For
God
those who don't
damn.
know, for those who don't know John Amos by his name, that's the dad off Good Times.
Yeah.
You
But I
know,
mean, bro, he looked old in that movie. He looked old and ashy.
he's
It was
old.
concerning. What? Good to see him. Shout out to bearded brother in the building. Hey, look,
What's up, bearded brother? Yo,
Leslie Jones carried a lot of those scenes, bro. Carried a lot of those scenes.
hilarious, man.
Hilarious. Good, good,
Hilarious.
good comedic
Her and
timing.
Tracy Morgan, they got that chemistry, man.
That
You
was
know,
a
they definitely showed their chemistry, and that was funny. You know, when they kind of did a flashback and they played off the original movie when Eddie Murphy and
right,
Arsenio was at the club
right,
looking for a girl, and like Eddie Murphy ended up stumbling off and meeting Leslie Jones. I thought that was kind of funny.
right. So the only other movie I could compare this to, which wasn't an equal comparison, when I was thinking about it, we were talking about it earlier, was yeah, Coming to America and then Coming to America was you remember Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah,
Do you remember the remake of Total Recall with what's his name? Do you remember that movie?
nah,
Oh, you don't even remember that movie. See,
nah.
they did
But
a
why should I
remake of Total
remember
Recall.
that shit?
Exactly. The only one that you remember is the first one. The second one was good in its own right, but it was forgettable. This wasn't forgettable. This was paying homage to the first movie, and it brought everything from the first movie back. That's what I saw this as, paying
That's
homage
a
to the first
perfect
movie.
way. That's a perfect way. What up, Tony M? That's a perfect way to sum it up. I think to it. It paid homage to the first one. You know, with a lot of the flashbacks, with keeping
When he looked good, he did have 3 scenes.
Timmy was pointless. That was hilarious, man.
Yo, I could have. I just
He
knew
was all dancing all up behind Tiana Taylor too. She had her appearance in it. She was the
that was his
soon
second
to be
scene.
queen.
Yeah, that was the second scene though.
Oh man.
I just knew Tiana Taylor was still gonna be in that hall the same way.
The same way she was still barking.
Right, the same way she was still barking. What up, Rob?
Shout out to
Yo,
Rod Wells.
that was such a missed
Man,
opportunity because Rotimi has that hilarious butterscotch character that he does, man.
man, who is
I
this
just knew
butterscotch shit you talking about? Hey,
you gonna make me pull this shit up, bro. You
I
gonna
don't know
make
what
me
you're
pull this
talking
shit
about,
up.
but I don't care what anybody says. Even though some people thought it was corny when they threw the funeral for the dad and he wasn't dead yet,
Right.
that shit was hilarious. Shout out to the Realities podcast. My cousin Ray Sean, she hosts that show. Check her out. But yeah, that shit was hilarious. He was standing up in the casket and they had Morgan Freeman giving a eulogy.
Yeah.
That's classic. And then you
That
had
was
Gladys
yeah.
Knight singing Midnight Train from Zamunda.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
Yo, that shit was funny. That shit. See, I'm gonna pull this up since you don't know what I'm talking about. If y'all don't
I
know what
don't
I'm
know.
talking about, what up, Big P? If y'all don't know
What
what I'm
up, Big
talking
P?
about, Timmy and his Mr. Butterscotch character. I'm gonna pull this shit up.
All right, but why
Uh,
you pulling up some butterscotch stuff that I don't know? What the hell you about to pull up?
hell up.
Let's talk about Party with Me. I'm still here. Shout out to Malika Shanae. It's on the soundtrack. Um, what was I about to say? Damn it, it slipped my mind.
You don't even know. See, you getting old. Yeah,
No.
let me pull this. Let me pull up this Mr. Butterscotch
Oh
joint.
no,
Hold
no,
on.
that's what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, go ahead. Here you
Here you
go.
go, right here. Hold on, man. Mr. Butterscotch. Hold on.
Ladies, ladies, and more ladies.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning. I'm your butter daddy.
Ah, how
Yo,
in the hell did you find this?
yo, what are you talking about, man?
You must
This dude
follow
is
him.
hilarious, bro. I do follow
Oh
him.
my
The
goodness. I
dude
ain't
is
trying to
hilarious.
clown you, man, but that shit is
That isn't
crazy.
even that's not even a good one, but that's what it
Whoa.
is.
Yeah, that is a long way from Dre from Power, but that's his
That
versatility, I guess.
that is a long way. A hell of a
But
long
no,
way.
but that's what I was gonna say though. The main character, the son, his name's Jermaine Fowler. He's from Hyattsville, Maryland.
Yeah. Shout out to PG County.
So
PG
PG
County all
County
the way.
definitely came through. You know, he was born in DC, raised in Hyattsville. Another person from the DMV coming out, getting another opportunity. So that's a
We,
good thing.
we everywhere. We everywhere.
What's
They
up, Auntie?
they just figuring that out. But look, let's talk a little more deep about this and in us and our community, talking about this bar that we set for us that sometimes is unattainable. Coming to America came out even before it hit and anybody said it, everybody was setting this high bar, this level of expectation of saying it better do this, it better do that, or it's not going to be worth it, right? We, for some reason, always try to set that bar for us so much higher than everything else, everybody else, right?
But that goes back to every conversation we have, right, with each other. We'll always
Yep,
hear somebody bragging, right,
yep.
about somebody, and then the first thing you say is, "Oh man, he ain't better than
He ain't
what's
better than
call."
Jordan.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how the culture is,
Yeah,
man.
he ain't better than Chappelle. He ain't better than so and so. But
Right.
I mean, just you gotta just be a fan of it and enjoy it. Like every single part of this, even the part when they talked about him having this royal bathing, he was like, "Yo, y'all gonna bathe me? All three of y'all?" And then Leslie had her part with the
With the dude holding his
with the
breath under
dude
the
holding his
water.
breath. So there was so much good. There was so much good, so much paying homage to the old movie that it was able to stand on its own and be funny on its own. I
But it
think,
had a lot of good undertones to it too.
yeah,
Not to cut you off, but like a lot of good undertones to where, the daughter was given the kingdom or the
hmm
queendom, we should say. And it took away a lot of the stereotypes. And that was another great thing about the movie. Like really good undertones about, different social issues were in that. So
I
it was
thought,
good stuff.
yeah, the daughters were good. It showed how you know how he came back and became just like his father, didn't make the changes that he started and he revolutionized by bringing Lisa back home. So it was a growth in him. I understand that part of the story. And his daughters was off the chain. That middle one was fierce. Even the
Yeah.
old one, but the middle one, I don't even think she smiled like twice in that movie outside of the end.
Oh yeah,
It
with the
was just Joey.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was
she had the little grin
intense.
to her. She was yeah.
She was intense, bro. I the other part was I think I was looking more from Eddie and Arsenio, but I had to remember how old they were too.
But
We
you gotta
forget
give them
that.
but you gotta give them credit that like they're close to 60 years old, man.
That's what
Looking good,
that's
in good
that's
shape.
that's not old. And I'm gonna say that because we were expecting. I was expecting.
That's not John Amos old.
No, that ain't John Amos old. John Amos is a step away from. He's
Don't
like
say that.
I ain't okay. All right, but you see John Amos in the movie, he looked ashy. He looked old and ashy, especially in the McDowell's scene. I was like, God,
Mm.
this dude. But yeah, they did really good. They did really good for what this. I was expecting more, but overall, it came out fantastic. So I think we spent enough on Coming to America. All you haters can keep continue to hate. Even there was even some hate talking about how that how it was still this movie was disrespectful to Nigerians or Africans because of the accents and all that. I ain't got time for that shit. Trying to compare it to
Man, that
Wakanda.
shit goes
I ain't got
both
time for
ways,
that.
man.
Y'all can keep y'all upset asses to the left. Okay, just enjoy the goddamn movie. Just stay on the left side. Keep that shit over there. All right.
Nah, you're right about that. And then like reality's podcast is saying, change the cycle of the old regime. Like
Right.
that's a good one. Exactly.
Right. I, we
It was a feel good movie, man.
It was a feel good
Like with
movie.
all the bullshit that's going on, it was one of those movies that we could sit back and watch. Like let's talk about the wardrobe. It was beautiful. The shit,
Um,
the colors and the wardrobe was just tight. And Rick Ross's mansion, the marble floors was shined up.
I'm gonna tell you this. Peaches and Caress was looking like two strong blueberries. Oh, they aged too. They wasn't the same in the booth. I
Oh
ain't gonna lie.
no.
He was an oatmeal raisin cookie. Oh, you guys going in oatmeal raisin cookie. I thought
Mm.
he looked like a ginger snap.
Oh, like a ginger snap.
He was-
Oh man,
That's the perfect cookie. John Amos looked like a ginger snap.
I shouldn't even have brought that up, man. Now I feel bad.
Well, no. All right, we just spent plenty of time on. Coming to America. Good movie. All you haters continue to
I
hate.
say go see it. You ain't gotta go
Go
far. Take
see
your
it.
lazy ass to your living room. Put on Amazon Prime. If
Amazon
you ain't
Prime.
got Amazon Prime, stay your friends, log in
What's wrong with
and
your life?
support.
You got Amazon Prime. What's wrong with your life? That's like not having Netflix or not having a friend with Netflix.
Nah,
What's
but
your life
before we
about?
leave the movie, though, I did like the first barbershop scene when he was talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Paying
That
homage
barber.
to the first
Yeah,
movie when they were
was.
talking about Ali and Rocky Marciano.
Randy Watson. Randy Watson made a good cameo.
Yeah.
He made a good cameo. Sexual chocolate. That was good. All right.
All right, man. So yeah, go see that one.
Go see that one. Go view it. Go check it out. Support. It needs the numbers. Look, what's going to get the numbers tonight is the NBA All Star Jam Shazam.
And chat, stick with this too because we're gonna make an interesting uh I guess topic change
Oof.
from All Star Weekend to something else. So it's not going to be All Star Weekend out for the rest of the show.
No,
So stick with this. But it is All Star Weekend. It is in Atlanta. It
we
is
talked
going
about that
down.
last week. Okay,
Yep,
I seen him. I seen a meme where it said HIV and COVID-19 together like the blood and the Crips.
I got that sent to
I
me
said,
too,
man,
man. I said, oh
oh
man,
gosh, I you know it's just tough. Look,
ginger snap. I hope Blake Griffin's not going to the Nets, man.
Blake Griffin going to the Nets.
I hope not.
Um, I heard those rumors. I heard
I
those
don't
rumors.
think he make. I don't think he make that much of a difference though.
I don't know. I can't call it. I can't call it. But the teams are chosen. Teams are picked. Team LeBron and Team Durant. What's your thoughts?
Team LeBron and Team Durant. Obviously Durant's not playing. You want to talk about the game first? Or you want to talk about the challenge and stuff in order?
Let's talk about the game first. Then we'll talk about the challenges.
All right, we'll go to the game first. Okay, it's all over. IG. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Team LeBron. LeBron came out with some strong picks. Like I
Yeah, he
touched
did.
about it on the last show. He's got in his starting five. He's got Doncic. He's got Nikola Jokic. He's
Mm-hmm.
got the Greek Freak,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So, and then I just heard, you know me, I'm always getting my sports updates last minute. I just heard that
Contract tracing.
Embiid, yeah.
Yeah. Con- Contact tracing. Yeah. He's
So
not gonna. He's
damn,
not gonna be in because he came
another
with
loss for
contact.
Team Durant.
Yeah. But I mean, they got a
Another
decent.
loss for Team Durant. So yeah, I'm just thinking it's gonna be a LeBron show. What'd you say?
No, no. I was laughing at another loss for Team Durant. But they got a strong squad too. They have starting Beal. Shout out to the Wizards,
Shout out to
hometown
Bill.
representing.
Man, Kyrie's probably gonna go out there and shoot the ball 63 times.
69. I put 69 on it. Um, Kawhi Leonard.
Put out
Also,
put out in the chat early though who's gonna be your picks for MVP for the
ooh,
All Star game. Put in the chat early. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. But who's your pick? Who's your pick for All Star game MVP? K Dizzle.
mm, you know who I think gonna ball out,
Oh,
and you can call me hometown homie, but I think Bill's gonna go there and ball out. I think he's got one of the
statement
biggest
approved.
chips on his shoulders that he not only does he belong there, that he should have been there a year
Yeah,
or
but
two.
but people know Bill can score though.
People know Bill can score like we do in some people, but you got to remember the Wizards for a long time have been looked over because they haven't had the greatest seasons.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
been a lot of things for a long time.
a lot of things for a long time. Malika says James Harden. Mm,
James Harden's gonna ball out too. He's over there with Kyrie Irving because you know KD picked all the nets.
yeah, he did.
But man, I don't know, man. I'm always team LeBron, but to see LeBron out there with the Greek Freak and Doncic and Steph
And
Curry,
Doncic,
whew,
yeah, it's
I don't
gonna
know.
it's gonna be a shoot off between Doncic and Steph.
So
It ain't
Malik
gonna
is
be no
picking
matchup.
James Harden for MVP.
Yeah, Chad, who you got MVP?
All right, so let's back up. So let's go to the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Now you got some All Stars coming out. for the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. You got Doncic and Chris Paul headlining. This is also including Sabonis' son, DeMontis, Julius Randle, who's balling out for the Knicks. No one's talking about the Knicks, but I got a lot of friends from
Nobody's
Brooklyn.
talking about the Knicks.
The Knicks are fourth in the East, sir.
Really?
With the Philadelphia 76ers dealing with some contract tracing or whatever you want to call it. Then you got Nikola Vucevic and Robert Covington in the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Who you got?
You got to name those again, because
All right, I'm gonna go through it again.
I'll do it again.
Luka Doncic,
Hmm.
Chris Paul, Domantas Sabonis, Julius Randle, Nikola Vucevic, and Robert Covington. This is the Taco Bell Skills Challenge.
Luke.
This is the challenge where they go through and make a couple of passes, go in and out, they weave around the stuff, hit a layup, shoot a three, bop, and whoever has the fastest time wins.
Hmm. I kind of like Chris Paul in that.
That's a safe pick.
That is a safe pick. I kind of like Chris Paul.
Chad, where y'all at tonight? Who y'all picking in the skills challenge? Let's get live. Let's see. If you take Chris Paul, that's a good pick. I gotta take Doncic in that. If you take Chris
It's
Paul,
either him or yeah, it's either him or Chris Paul. Either one
okay.
of them. Oh, who? Oh, we didn't say it. Zion is replaced in Embiid as starter. He could ball out.
Oh, Zion. Sure.
Yes, he's
So
replacing
he's
him.
gonna be over there with Team Durant. He might be a sneaky pick
He
for
might be a
MVP.
MVP. Yeah.
I like that.
The only reason I say him because I knew he was going to be on the bench, but with Embiid out,
Yeah.
mm,
Then you
all
got the
right.
3-point contest. We got Steph Curry.
You already know. I don't care about none of that.
We got Steph Curry,
Don't even ask me.
Chef Curry with the shot,
With the shot,
Jason
boy.
Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brown, Zach Levine, and Mike Conley. I think
Boy,
Mike Conley got replaced, or maybe I might be mistaken. I should
yeah, it was
double
Conley.
check that.
Conley is in that contact tracing issue, but nobody's messing with your boy,
Steph, easy
Chef
win,
Curry with the spot. Nobody.
flawless victory.
Flawless victory. Finish him. Everybody else just sit down. Just sit
What's the
down.
over under out of 30 points? Out of 30 points, you say you can get about 20, 20,
29.
25?
29.
What?
'Cause I feel like he can 29.
Oh, so you said he coming out striking.
He coming out striking. Hot.
Yeah, he's saying
Hot.
he's coming out
You see him the other
striking.
night
Man, the
with that
boy's a
high
freak
post?
of nature.
Yeah, he's retarded, bro. I've never
I was
seen a body be able to continuously do the exact repeated motion and come up with the same result like that. His
I was
shots, they don't rim. Do you notice that?
them shits drop.
They
And they got the
drop.
arc and everything. And he doesn't
They
even have to
drop.
jump that high. He just it's that like you said, that muscle memory. I'm watching the game with my girl the other day. She said he's a freak of nature. I said, relax, please.
They don't.
But he is a freak of nature.
They don't drop. They drop literally inside the basket. They don't touch the rim like that. They don't.
Mm.
It's bananas, bro.
So you saying stuff gonna wrap it up? No questions.
Gonna wrap it up, no question. He is gonna go home with it, and I think if he does like 29 or 30, they're gonna ban him from the next one.
So the slang, all the shit you say to me about Rihanna. Oh boy, the chat's getting personal before we even get to the personal
Wait
conversation.
a minute. Wait
Slow
a
down.
minute.
Slow
What-
down. And then so they're doing something new this year, right? They have the dunk contest at halftime.
At halftime.
Because they don't have anybody that you've ever heard of
Very
in the
true.
dunk contest. So let's play it at halftime. You got Anthony Simons,
Anthony Simons.
and no disrespect to these guys because I'm
No.
sure they're super athletic. You got Cassius Stanley, classic first names. You got Anthony Cassius and Obi Toppin.
And Obi Toppin.
So please, don't miss halftime. Whatever you do, don't miss halftime because these three guys are going to be jumping out the gym. I don't know who's going to win, to be honest with you. I can't tell you.
I can't tell you either.
I really don't care.
Don't care either.
I really don't care, but as long as I get entertained,
As long as
um,
we're entertained, I don't care. But that's, I mean, I guess that's where we are in basketball right now. On
I was
this
watching.
level, it feels like randoms doing the dunk contest. We are a long way from. I'm a speak on my age right now. We're a long way from like Clyde the Glide.
That's a hard sell right there. No bull. Nah, but
And
look though,
Dominique's.
I was watching
Go ahead,
a top like all-star dunk contest like
Grandmama.
compilation. A compilation, right? And I'm watching all the dunks from over the years and how like the camera got grainier and grainier. And like the dunks back then, and I'm not talking about Jordan and like Dominique, but like some
Yeah,
of these other guys like Stansberry and some of these other cats, no disrespect to them either, but they were doing some simple shit, getting tens, and I'm like, what in the
yeah.
world? Like doing some one hand bop tens, and like all of a sudden now, as the show I was watching sped up, I'm watching Zach Levine do 360 windmills between the legs. I'm watching Gordon sit on top of the mascot's head and dunk it. I wouldn't want to get in a dunk contest either, because what the hell can you do?
But
What's
so,
left?
but look, and it's funny that you brought that up because you got to remember too, it's different times, right? Two different times, two different eras. I saw a graph where it showed the entire court and it showed
Hmm.
the field goal percentage and where the
Hmm.
field goal percentages are versus I think it was like 5 years ago. There was like a additional 40% of field goal percentages inside the football boundary
And also a
and
higher
everything
volume of shots.
yeah, the volume of the shots and everything else moved outside on the 3 point perimeter. Like it was a huge difference. It's like everything that moved that inside game moved out to the perimeter to
Yeah,
the outside game. Like nowadays they don't want that kind of smoke. And the only time they come in is when they dunking hard and it's used for recreational purposes only.
that's
So
it.
the game has been elevated to a point where now it's all about jump shots. It ain't a lot of inside. When's the last time you seen somebody really, really playing hard in the post all game?
The closest person you could say is Embiid, and we talked
That's
about
it.
that before.
Yeah, that's it. But everybody else is on the perimeter. Everybody else taking those shots, taking those
But the
deep
game
three
has
point
changed,
shots.
and I was on Twitter the other day, right? And
Hmm.
I had some people hating on me on Twitter, but I was basically saying they were like offensive
Women, yeah,
defense, and but they were like offensive defense. I said, but you got to look at how the game is called right now.
right.
The game is called to cater towards the offense. So it comes to a certain point where I'm not even going to put my offensive star on your best offensive guy to get him in foul trouble, get him all tired, because I just want him to run.
It's the same as football, though. Shout out to Uncle Witch in the building. It's the same as football. Same stuff. I mean,
What you
everything's
mean?
geared toward allowing the offense to score more points, which gets more viewers,
Right.
gets more airtime. So the game has changed. It's elevated. You're right. From basic dunks to windmills to behind the back to somersaults and
You can even look at some of the playbacks of just a playoff series that LeBron was in about 5 years ago. Like some of those scores were like in the 80s,
yeah,
in the 90s. And I know the playoffs is different than the regular season, but these games are finishing at 130, 140.
yeah.
Like
These
and that's
games
why
are
Bradley Bill's getting pissed off. He's scoring 50 points a game, and the Wizards are scoring 115, but they're giving up 130.
yeah.
Shit's
It's a,
crazy.
it's a no-win situation. No-win situation, man. So that is a hard sell, super hard sell. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you not do?
You stack up on becoming a super team if you want to win a championship. Because I hate to say it, when's the last team you've seen drafted its way to a championship? Ever since Boston, the Celtics when they teamed up with KG and Ray Allen and Paul
Yeah,
Pierce and Rondo,
yeah,
and then LeBron took that wave, and then KD took his path through Golden State. Like you're not gonna have a team organically win it. Like the closest team set up to possibly do that right now would be Utah,
yes,
because Utah has talent that was homegrown.
yep.
That's why LeBron was messing with them in the draft when he said, we didn't grow up playing with any teams in Utah in video games.
Hmm.
So like he was joking because he didn't pick Donovan Mitchell, in the All-Star game. But like those guys are out there balling.
Yeah,
And that's the tough part about those small market teams. Those small market teams, you have to draft well, and then you have to bring in talent around that person that you drafted.
yeah. So the
Topic
new
is the new
generation
gener.
watering down sports. Elaborate. don't be don't be throwing shots out there. And Marcus think he still got game, getting 3 weeks of practice. Video him shooting three. This is getting personal.
Yeah, a lot of them
Video
come
you shooting 3 pointers to see if he can make 8 out of 20 shots. No
8 out of 20.
editing. Look at
8 out of 20.
this.
What you want to put
Good
on it?
God.
What do you want to put
That
on it
guy's
right now?
real
If you give me 3 weeks, K Dubs, I'm gonna tell you right now. No, let's stop right now. Stop the show. Cause I
versatile.
love the interaction. The chat comes for me. Stop the show. Time out. Give me 3 weeks to practice and record me. No editing. I will make 8 out of 20. But I need all 3 weeks of those to practice, though. I'm not gonna go out there and make 8 out of 20 right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey, hey, P wasn't out there when we was out there in BMO. We was going to the court on Sundays. Who was that with the whole squad? P
I
wasn't out
forgot
there.
you was going out there.
Yeah, you forgot about me. Yeah, we're balling.
I, for- I forgot you. I
He was
forgot
out
you
there.
was out there. No editing. I don't know why he's doubt me, man.
P's you know what? P's a hater. P is shooting fly. He is shooting shots hard.
But when she says is the new generation watering down sports, in my opinion, the new generation's so quick to say somebody's the greatest. And another thing too, when I watch games now, every play the commentator commentates. I know that was redundant. Every play the commentator is analyzing basically says, "Oh, that was the greatest shot ever," or one of the greatest moves. Everything's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why you get that watered down feedback, because it's like you've seen everything. It's almost like being desensitized to like spectacular moves. You didn't seen it all. All they do is shoot threes, right? You know, I'm getting tired of turning the game on and the tallest people on the court are at the 3 point line. And that's another reason why the defense is poor, because those tall guys that shoot threes, you're taking that role of the guy
Well,
who's supposed to protect the
yeah,
rim.
the tall guys are shooting threes now. I think what you can truly say is if you talk about the new generation, we're too quick to crown a king, and we're too quick to cancel. So
Yes. Mm,
it goes on both ends. You're
that
too
can be a
quick to
topic for another
crown a
day.
king, too quick to cancel, cancel somebody. So
It's all or
that
nothing.
it's all or nothing because it's instant. You live a lifestyle of everything is instant, which means that the next new thing is the next new thing, and you forgot about the last new thing. You spent no time savoring the greatness of that last thing. It's no longer great to you. Now this is the greatest because that's just taking your attention off of what came before it. When what came before it is why you're able to see what you're seeing now. So that goes you can go a whole different direction with that, a whole different direction with that. I, we live in an instant society with Instapot. you know
Yeah, you can
I sh-
take that to rap music,
I should
and that's a
I
whole
take
nother
that everywhere.
conversation.
I shared a meme earlier this week talking about my grandma looking at me at heaven, watching me put chicken in the air fryer, mad as the
Mm,
world.
I saw
Asking,
that.
where's my skillet?
I saw that.
Where's my skillet? So
But the air fryer is healthy, and if you know how to cook, like you can't go putting like a whole fried
there
chicken
you
in the
go.
air fryer.
He's protecting the air fryer.
I mean, yeah, you can't.
Example.
It's your fault if you go putting the whole flour on the chicken and everything in the air. Like you got to make sure you cook it the right way. There you go, Chad. Now the chat's jumping.
Yeah.
Players have the freedom and ability to extend the defense beyond normal capacity with the three game. Yes, that's true. The game wasn't meant to be played this way, but it is. Defense can't support all that. Too much space, too many
100%.
lanes, and not
You
just that,
can't you
not
can't
just that,
hey,
Uncle Rich, but you also have all that space with faster athletes and people who jump higher.
you
So,
can't cover the entire damn field. You can't cover the whole court. 100%. When everybody can shoot, you're right. Everybody's now a shooter. The center's a shooter, the power forward. Beforehand, it was just you knew the guard, the point guard, and the shooting guard, and sometimes a power forward would step back and take shots, and sometimes the shooting forward.
Well, look at how the point
Everybody can
guard
shoot.
evolved. You would like everybody used to be like Chris Paul, not as good as Chris Paul, but everybody
Who
had
did
that
the
traditional
size and
style,
stature?
right? And they played that, make the right pass first play style, make the play first and everything. And now your point guard has evolved into the Steph Currys, the Russell Westbrooks. The guys I was watching Westbrook bang. He used to dunk
It's
aggressively
ridiculous.
at point guard. You know what I'm saying? What do you say? I'm old school all the way, but some of these young guys are playing
Yeah,
scary. They are.
ridiculous.
It's unfortunate because you're not gonna see any defense in this era. You're gonna see guys score 30 points a game. A lot of guys are averaging triple doubles, and when people
What it
look
is.
back, it's just gonna be like, damn, we were blessed to, I guess, live around a lot of talent to see a
It's
lot
a
of good
game.
players play at one time.
It's a game of shooters. It's a shooters game.
John Morant was on Twitter the other day. John Morant, he plays for the Grizzlies, superstar, definitely up and coming young bull. He was on Twitter. He said, "Gotta do more," because he got, I guess, snubbed, right? But he just simply just said, "Gotta do more," and I respect that comment, because a lot of players come out there and they start talking shit, pointing fingers. But that's the thing, when you have all that talent across the board, when you say, "Oh, I should have made the All-Star game," okay, over who?
Yep.
Over who? State your case for who you should have made it over.
Yeah.
Because it's
State your case.
so many, it's so deep.
Super deep. Super deep. State your
I
case.
I got
Oh.
chat coming to me talking about shoot threes. Mm, mm, mm. I done seen it all on a Sunday afternoon. Calling my jump shot out.
It do be bodying folks, but not enough. Not enough. Everybody's scared. You got a kid like Zion Wilson that comes from college that is a freak of nature, size, stature that can end your career if he dunks on you the wrong way. You're
Oh,
getting out of the way. You're
Giannis
protecting
is
the
an animal.
bag. 100%. You're gonna protect the bag.
LeBron too. You can take young Giannis Duncan and LeBron. You still
Yeah.
step right to the side.
So it is a completely different game. 100%.
Oh,
Big
K
difference.
Dizzle. I played ball with Tony M. He's talking about we had lifetimes court. Man, that dude is strong. Man, I ran into this dude. Usually I like get the advantage, right? If I run head up with somebody.
Mhm.
Man, we on a basketball court going for a rebound, and I think we just collided. I didn't want to play no more with him. I said, "Look, I don't want to play. You should be playing football somewhere. Why the hell are you out here playing, Tony?"
Get off
And
the court.
yeah, man.
Get off the court, man. We should put pads on your ground. Hold your ground. You say, "Oh man, $50." Look, P always put the money out there, man. P come on in and put the money out
I
there.
can hear him now. 3 weeks. I
You
gave
already know.
you
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks half. 3 weeks.
Oh man. You know, when there was a day when I had time to just sit around and play basketball with you guys and prove all you wrong. But I've grown up. I've I've matured. I don't get paid to play out here in these streets.
P trying to kill you $50. Oh, P.
Yeah, but he want
Oh,
me to come out there. He out there like this guy really came up that fast with 8 of 20, 3 weeks, $50.
no editing the footage.
Shit,
No
no
editing the
editing.
footage. He wanted live.
Shout out to Big
Oh
P,
Lord.
man.
Shout
That's a
out to
hell
P.
of that's a hell of a challenge. I'll let you know, man.
Oh man. All right, so you can do it. You can
You
do
can
it,
do
Joyce.
it.
Look,
Thank you for the confidence.
let's talk. Speaking of challenges, here's a segue to the rabbit
All
hole.
Star
All
Challenge.
star. Oh, the biggest all star challenge. Here's the biggest one. The topic of tonight's rabbit hole. Give it to him. What's the challenge?
All right, so I got to give the topic to tonight's rabbit hole, but I'm not going to say who came up with the topic like 6 days ago and wrote it out there and said, "Hey, man, this is what we're going to talk about." And I said, "Cool." And then afterwards, I said, "Well, shit. I don't really know where to kind of pull this information from, but I'll talk to the people. So I said, we'll talk to the people and see when is it time to leave your current situation. And when I say situation, I mean relationship, your significant other, your person that you share all your time with. When is it time to pick up and go? When is it time to say it's over? We're talking
When
about
do
the
you know?
top five. What'd you say?
The when do you know?
When do you know? The
When do
top
you
five
know?
ways you know it's time to go. And it started with the All-Star weekend because a
Yeah.
lot of relationships ended off of that back in the day. A
Woo,
lot of people went to All-Star weekend and came
woo,
home and the locks was changed.
woo. When do you, all right, so while we're talking this top five chat, make sure you put in when you know, when you know it's time, the
To hit the
relationship
road.
is over, to hit the road. When do you know?
What's your
When
last
do you know?
straw? What's your
When do
last
you know, Pep?
straw?
When do
What
you
is
know
your
it's
last
time?
straw? Man, you know what? If I show up at home and my shit's out front, I know it's time to go. I know it's time to go because that took some effort. That took more than just anger. That took an action plan. My stuff was put to
That's a
the left, to the left.
preconceived notion,
That was a premeditated move.
premeditated move when your
They
stuff is
said they
outside.
didn't care about if I resided there longer than 30 days. So I guess that's my number one way I know it's time to go.
It's too late by then. It's too
That's the
late by then.
literal. So yeah,
Malika
so
says,
we're talk. What's that?
Malika says when things get toxic. Really? Because here's what I know. In relationships, you have toxic moments in time. Super toxic moments in time.
We're gonna
Where
rank 2021 vocabulary with toxic,
oh,
entanglement.
entanglement, toxic,
But go ahead. It's just
um,
words I've been hearing. Cap,
piggyback,
cap,
piggyback, cap.
cap. If I hear another person say cap, what are you capping? Are you finishing up what you're talking about? Are you bringing it to a close? Are you capping off a
Oh,
sentence?
you showing your age, bro.
Hey man,
No,
I
but
can't always I can't always do it.
I know. So that's hard to say, Malika. When you is that when you know when it's time to cut that relationship short, when things get toxic,
Come
because
on, Dr. K Dizzle,
in the
define
heat of the
toxic.
battle, in the heat of the battle, right? You 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 use every tool in the armory. You have those three plus. You have those three things in your tool belt that if it get a little too spicy in that conversation, or that we're not gonna call it argument, we're gonna call it conversation. We'll pop one of them things out. That's how I
Hmm.
know. That's how your mama used to treat you. You know he going to the left. You know he going to. That's toxic. That don't mean it's over. That don't mean it's over. But oh, Pat say when your man or woman is sleeping in another room, I got to put a term on that, like a length of time on that
I guess that could be situational.
situation. Clothes outside, yeah, it's time to go. You have no choice in that matter at that point. Toxic, situational.
Toxicity, man,
Toxicity,
man, a woman sleeping another. I snore my girl out the room sometimes, so I can't even get mad at that. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it real. But what else, man? I know y'all got more reasons when you know it's time to go. All right, how
yeah.
about this? How about
Ooh,
what you
I
got?
no go. 'Cause I
If
know
they're
you.
not willing to change your toxic behavior, I'm out. So that's a statement already saying if they're not willing to change, you know.
Yes.
So that person's already going to pointing the finger. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean I can see that though. Not willing to change the toxic behavior. But when the communication starts to fade away, at the end of the day, you know what your foundation is built on, right? So if something's built upon a certain foundation, and then all of a sudden I see that foundation starting to fall apart or missing things that I know was a part of that said foundation, I know it's time to go.
Like what?
Because if we're built upon communication, if our relationship is built on trust, and we always can communicate,
Hmm.
and there's never a question that's off base, because it comes down to the boundaries that were set in the beginning of the relationship. Because if the boundaries were set up at the beginning of the relationship to say, let me give you a corny example. I mean, it's not corny, but it's specific. Let's say we have an open phone policy. If my phone's sitting down, you can pick it up and use it, right? We don't have to go
Okay.
get our phone to use it, right? So
Okay.
let's say in the beginning of our relationship, we have an open phone policy. But let's say now all of a sudden you can't pick my phone up,
Right.
right? Now all of a sudden, hey, what you doing? I'm coming around the corner looking for my phone, lunching out because I'm like, what the hell are you doing on my phone? Hey, where's that coming from? That's when you start to notice the foundation, something's changing. So at that
Right.
point, you at least have to address it before you necessarily just say it's time to go. But that's the beginning sign, in my opinion. Just certain things start to change.
Yeah. When you s- what when certain things started to change, I put this up, and a couple of the responses I got were from Iman Street said, when you have to ask yourself that question. When you think it's time for you to go, if you have to start asking yourself that question, that's when you know things have changed, and you start having to make those decisions. But when it circles back to communication, that's the tough part. That's really a tough part.
Let's see
Um,
what the chat's saying. The chat's saying when one keeps complaining about everything, someone's getting tired of somebody. So somebody just starts complaining. It's time to go. Damn,
is
P.
it time to damn Pete?
P don't got no patience, man.
Pete don't have no patience, man.
Your P don't stand for patience, Big P.
No, it don't. Not at all. I mean, if your girl get mad at you because you forget to take the trash out, you like, oh man, get the hell out. It's time to go. I'm quit. That ain't gonna work.
Nah, man.
You're gonna be gone by yourself for a while, forever.
Okay, so
Hold on. When things were one way, and then you see changes, and you said that too. So now we got to talk about why they're changing. If you know, you got to
but
figure out why
what
they're
but
changing.
what is but what's changing too? Because there's some severity to what's changing. If it's just like all of a sudden, every time you go out, my girl's wearing the same, sweatpants and hoodie. Every time she's going out, she's wearing the same sweatpants and hoodie. Oh, baby, I'll be back. I'm going to the store. And you're like, oh, okay. I'll holler at you. And then all of a sudden, you do a double
Mhm.
take when you see your girl walking to the door and she's got on some type of like real, whatever the ladies want, like fashion over dress or some shit. And she's stepping out, something's changing. That's what we got to talk about.
Yo, I'm gonna go back to what Mama have said, but
Uh
we said when that "I love you" turn, you used to get every day used to get short the ILY.
oh.
You
Man, let
stupid
me
man.
just let me just sit in this just to make sure I'm still checking the box.
Go
Let me
ahead.
just check the
I'm gonna go ahead and
box.
send that on. Staying out all night, saying you with the boys or girls, or the bedroom changes. All those, everything that you're pointing out are symptoms, right? There's
But
symptoms
when
of
is it
change.
time? But when is it time to go? After those conversations were had. All right, look, you're going out too much. You're staying out too late. When is it the breaking point? Is our question.
I'm, I, Let me answer because you answered the first one. Let me answer. When For me, I'm going to say if we've had those conversations and the respect is no longer there, meaning respect for my feelings, how I feel in the situation versus how you feel in the situation. If you don't respect that enough to make a change, it's time to go. You got to go at that point because if you don't, if I say, hey, this is the problem, this is what I see, you're hanging out all night, I don't like it. You're not telling me everything. We're not communicating. What's going on? And you say, well, deal with it. Yeah, fuck you. Lack of better word. Sorry. That's the only. You get older, you start those. You know that stuff just goes out the window. You gotta say, look, if you no longer respect me enough to tell me the truth. If you're gonna do all that shit on the side or whatever you're doing, I gotta go. At that point, that's when I know when it's time to go. If you no longer respect the relationship or what we're trying to build, gotta go. If you can't evolve together, it's a breaking the point. That's tough too.
Very true. You start to outgrow your partner and things that they want to do starts to become not the things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta
Ooh,
just have that conversation and that realization. So that's definitely some good input from the chat.
ooh. But look, man, that's a tough thing because here's what you have in that dynamic when you're talking about leaving the relationship. And we didn't put a timestamp on it. We didn't put generals. We kind of generalized it because it could be a 6 month relationship, 6 year, 16, 26. Married, single, married, filing for divorce, married, separated, relationship, thinking about marriage. It don't matter. These are call signs that you need to really look out for, and they're always the bat signals that give you warning signs on what needs to be fixed before you go any further with it. Or if you're already in a relationship, um, the warning signs of it coming to an end because either either you or that person or both of y'all together can't resolve differences. And it's hard because a lot of things that play in factor with you making that decision, the biggest one is always time. Okay. So
Right. But here's the thing too. Why is that person still staying in that relationship anyway? Are they staying in that
time.
one can be time. Two, they can actually still really be in love with that person, but
Hmm.
that person just does a lot of shit that pisses them off and it's just time that they gotta go. Or, at what point do you have the conversation, right? And
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask the chat too. So you have the conversation, you address like, all right, look, I'm not feeling this. And then I guess what? That's a warning. You start writing your spouse up, putting them on paper, right? Then you have a conversation again about it. Okay, so is it time to go, or do you go to counseling, or do you sit down and figure out a different way to bring in maybe a third party to help you get past that situation, or is it time to go? Like it's easy to throw out a top five, but it's like, how deep is it? Are you in a relationship where you're getting your ass whooped and you don't know when it's time to go?
I, I would
You know?
always advocate for counseling, but it always the biggest two factors are depending on the relationship. People stay in it outside of kids because kids is a whole different dynamic, but time and money. If if you've invested that amount of time, whether it be marriage or be the long-term relationship, 10, 11, 12, 13 years, some people feel that they don't want to start over again. They don't want to go through that entire process of becoming one with somebody, growing, growing together, and then all of it coming to a stop, and then have to separate everything all again. Money, because now you're together, you've been living together, you've been paying bills together. Even if you had to sit separate, bought a house or you got cars or whatever it is, that'll keep you together. And now that entangles your emotions on whether you should do the right thing for you emotionally and spiritually versus the time and the physical aspect of it. And so those are the main inhibitors. Like I the ones that grew that our parents, remember, they always
Hmm.
said they stayed together because of the kids. They wanted to keep that family dynamic there, right?
I always felt like one person just compromised probably just a little bit more than the other person, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Any relationship that you see K Dizzle that's 30 years in, 20 years in, all right, I'm not gonna say every single one, but there had to be to where each person had their run of bullshit. And maybe one person had to take the compromising, oh well, I'm gonna get through my storm and vice versa. Or
Hmm.
maybe one person just dealt with an asshole for 30 years. like you say, time can be something.
Time can be it can be it can be a motherfucker. Just
You can start seeing reality different because you've been doing something for so long, and it becomes habit, and you become comfortable.
said 3 times done. You think it's worth setting a relationship, then look for counseling. How long also in a relationship, and that's when someone will go out and cheat. Somebody goes out and cheat because they stop communicating. We talked about it before.
Yeah,
We talked about it before. But the
that was
thing
last
is,
week.
yeah, that was last week. But when you're talking about, yeah, the different the different generations have different ways of dealing with relationships. And if you look at the newer generation now, they're really not interested in, let me take this back. They're not interested in
The
the
traditional relationship,
traditional relationship with traditional marriage. So,
because back in the day, women were raised upon the thought of getting married, and a lot of
getting
a
married,
lot of
having
the
kids, buying a home.
right, and then all of a sudden, a lot of cultures with women would look down upon them if they weren't married at a certain age. Like, what's wrong with you?
Hmm.
So that whole traditional lifestyle changed, and now women are obviously doing a lot more in the society. Thankfully, CEOs, bosses doing their own thing, and they're not sitting around waiting to get married.
Hmm.
I don't need you to marry me into wealth or marry me into a lifestyle when I can do it on my own. So that's what changed a lot of that traditional thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, the planning is there now. Now they're planning their careers. They're, if they're going to school, they're going to school. They're getting a job. They're doing their careers. Then they plan out the marriage and the children from there. That's the relationship side of it. But that's the newer generation, because so, which causes it to be different, meaning time wise. So now that creates an entirely different dynamic when you're talking about the newer generation, because you don't get that. There's a lot of things that you get in when you're younger, in your 20s, in your 20s, that you don't get in your 30s. There's a lot you get in your 30s that you don't get in your 40s. Am I saying that right? There's a
Yeah,
lot of things you should learn in your 20s that you won't learn until your 30s. There's a lot of things
I'm
you learn
following
in
you.
your 30s that you could get in your 40s. So when those generational things change as far as the timeline is concerned, that changes the relationships dynamic as an entire whole. So getting back to when knowing that the relationship is over goes all about to how we deal with the relationships and how we handle relationships. Our Why is it that every conversation we have goes back to communication? 100%, because we talk about relationships and communication. We don't know how to effectively communicate. It's just
It's how
facts.
you communicate. It's when you're communicating. It's what you're communicating, and all of the above. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything you're saying. You have to have some type of agreement on in a relationship. You just can't sit out there and I've been coming out with this term a lot, man. Setting boundaries. I'm starting to like hear it like every day, and it's so applicable in a situation. Like you can't expect a person to you can't expect them to act the way you want them to act without setting an understanding about something and honestly knowing
Right.
up front. Because if you think you can get away with something or do something, and then like you're in your relationship, and that whole time you thought it was sweet, then all of a sudden you do it, and then it's like, hey, what the fuck? That's that's part of the byproduct of it.
Right. And I'm gonna tie that in. If you don't set boundaries, you don't know when too far is too far, and you
Right.
won't be able to understand when it's time to go.
There you go. Full circle.
Man, mental abuse is terrible. Mental abuse is worse than physical abuse, because that
Right.
just damages the psyche. But setting boundaries, understanding what you're willing to put up with and what you're willing not to, is the biggest part of knowing when it's time to go. Also, a big part is knowing when your shit is out in the front lawn. You coming home from work.
It's time to go when your shit is out on the front lawn. Don't move it back in. Just pick it
Don't
up.
move back in.
Just
I
take it
hope
with
you're on
you.
the pickup. Yeah,
You
hopefully
know.
your shit is not torn up, or it's not waiting to exhale on fire.
But see, I used to watch a lot of those relationships though, man. I used to sit back and watch a lot of my friends just argue and fight and go at it, man. And I was single, and with all the respect, I was like, yeah, y'all are in love and everything's good, but every time we go out, y'all are going at it, and it's like it's embarrassing. It's kind of scary,
Mm.
and you got to ask again. No bleach, damn. And
Ruthless.
and but yeah, it's like you got to ask, why are you still in it? That's the thing, yeah, it's time to go, but on the flip side, why am I still in it? And that's a whole different conversation.
Time, money, love. Time, money, love. So, woo. Look, man. I don't want to dig any deeper than that. I think that was more than scratching the surface.
We got to talk about something like more happy next week, man. All this
Yeah,
breaking up
man.
shit
Oh, it's
and
love and love
cheating
we
on people.
feeling, and I need you.
What happened to the shout outs, man?
Huh? Oh God.
We almost missed a segment.
Almost missed the segment. All right. Let
So
me put. Hold on. It's a form of sabotage. Sabotage.
self
You need to.
sabotage. Find
I think.
yourself.
I think you need to find yourself.
Yep.
This week in black business. Let's not forget ever again. We should have did this like 45 minutes ago. Shout out to Young Health for reminding us. I'm gonna go ahead and share yours now.
Man,
You
we
know what?
got to put our people on, man. That's what we
We
do it
gotta
for,
put our
right?
people on. Have who are we shouting out right now?
Not Rotimi.
Not Real Timmy. Is that Real Timmy?
Yeah.
It is Real Timmy.
We'll be live
Hold
on the
on.
All
What is
Dressed Up
hold on.
podcast, man.
Ladies, and more ladies, is Mr. Sexy Nigerian Butterscotch.
Oh, man.
And I'm so sad because I no longer can be in the streets with Rotimi. We no longer can beat chicks. We no longer can chase the horse. What am I going to do? I'm also crying because Rotimi asked me for money to invest in something in Nigeria. I gave him so much money. 2 days later, he has bought a ring. It's no coincidence. I don't have any money. And thirdly, actually, no, it's okay because if they name their child Butter, I will be okay. And if I get to officiate the wedding, it's okay. And the ring is so beautiful, so I'm happy I paid for it.
hey, hey,
Yo,
hey, you know
they
why
missed
that was funny?
they,
You know what that was funny? When he did the accent, he said, ah, and he made the noise at the end. That was hilarious. The part who's like, ah.
they missed an opportunity, bro.
Oh
Missed an
man.
opportunity.
Hilarious.
That's what I'm talking about. They missed an opportunity on that.
I never even saw that.
See, I'm trying to tell you, I'm putting you on something. So hold on. This week in black business is not Rotimi. It's actually who is the young hef? Who are we putting on today?
We are putting on my cousin's online business, Diamond Downs. It's Gahati.com. It is spelled GEHATI.com. And it's all organic and homemade body health care products as far as like soaps and bath products. Everything's natural, great for the skin. It's online, it's accessible. I saw when you go on, you get like a 15% off first, come discount. But also, just like we always say, just let them know that the All Dressed Up podcast sent you. And again, that's
All dressed up
Giatti.com.
podcast. Gehati.com. Here it is right here. I'm slow with it right now. Natural whip body butter, aromatherapy shower bombs, multi-purpose air mist.
There you go.
That's for if you funking up the bathroom, get some multi-purpose air mist.
Got to cover up that funk.
Come up that funk. Yeah, I need to do that. Whip natural. Look at that, and it's affordable. Hold on, lavender peppermint shower steamer. Hold on, let me get my life together. All right, so
Reviews are great. Reviews are
reviews are
definitely great
great.
on the products.
Reviews are phenomenal. Gehati, GEHATI.com. I am going to shout out the homie from high school. Shout out to Unique Joints Gibson. You have probably heard of this before, but I'm going to share it with you again. It's a game called Culture Tags. If you haven't seen it, it's a game called Culture Tags, where all it is about whether you know your culture or not, giving acronyms for words and phrases from the African American community, like WHDI. What does that mean when you say it? Won't he do it? Stuff like that. This game has been a roaring success. She did it during the pandemic. Um, it's in Target. It's about to be in Walmart. You can get it Amazon. She's been everywhere. It's a great. You've probably seen some of the advertisements on your Facebook posts in your Facebook feed. But it's a great game. It's also for the family. Here's the homie right here. Um, it came from a Kickstarter campaign from a year ago. She also has a great website called Because of Them We Can, where where they take pictures of young children uh, in the wardrobe of great African American authors, poets, activists, and everything else to showcase what they did and what they contributed to society. So it's called culturetags.com. You can go to Target, pick it up today, or you can go on Walmart probably next week. But it on Amazon, you can get it anywhere they sell board games and stuff like that. So shout out to this week's in business, gethottie.com, culture tags. Make sure you support our people and make sure you keep the money in the community. Community. Is that community?
Community.
Community.
No, that's
Community.
that's 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 what it's all about, and you know that's what we talk about every day. Just spending money on ourselves and buying within ourselves. So you know, definitely keep tuning in. Check us out every week because we're definitely going to give somebody that spotlight feature. So if you got anybody that you want us to shout out, you know, send K Dizzle a message. He has his socials up everywhere, or hit me up as well. And we'll definitely give your friends or family an opportunity if they're doing well in our community. So give
Find
us a.
everybody. Young Hef Streams, you can find him everywhere. YouTube,
That's it.
Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Same with me. Look, the only reason we do this is because you guys come every week and you guys come support us 110%. Make sure you share it. We're on every Sunday at 9, pending because we have an older audience. Right, Hef?
Some sleepyheads, man. Shout out to the
Sleepyhead. Shout out
sleepyheads.
to the Sleepyheads. But we'll be on every Sunday at 9. We're going to talk about different topics. Next week will be a lighter topic than the freaking relationships and communication, even though we need to keep talking about it. We need to do one on mental health.
Oh yeah,
100%
very,
mental health. We'll
very,
get
very
there.
much so.
So,
Very much so. We really appreciate the chat. You keep us going too throughout the segment. Our show is live, man. So you guys gotta
yep.
understand we prepare, you know, we do prepare for the show, but we really want to include everybody that takes the time out to give us, you know, that time of viewership. And you send us a message, we're definitely gonna put you on. We appreciate the love. Shout out to Patricia Heflin. Shout out to Malika
Mama
Shanae.
Hef is in the building.
Shout out to
Uncle Wick,
410 Beard, Uncle Witch, the
Chris,
Realities
Big
Podcast. I
P.
love that podcast.
Hey,
Big
look.
P is a hater.
He got that $50 on the court for you, homie. Hey, look.
3
What will
weeks.
think about this? What we'll probably start doing very, very soon is in the stream, we'll pull people from the audience to give their 2 cents.
Why not?
You'll
That's
come
what we do.
live on with an all dressed up podcast
Just be
immediately.
respectful. Don't get kicked out as soon as you get brought in because you will.
Somebody gonna get kicked out.
Get sent
Lo-
back.
Loose, where's loose lips? Somebody gonna get kicked out. We love you. We want to make this fun. We want to make sure you're involved. Please support, share everywhere you can. We thank you. We love you. And we appreciate you. Again, it's your boy Young Have Streams, K Dizzle DC. We will see you next week. Have fun watching that NBA All-Star game and let us know what you think. Love you.
Peace.
You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know.